All right, welcome in. Good morning.
Intro.
Huh? It is. It is very different. I guess we need to fix
That's
that.
on us.
Probably figure that out.
Speaking of us,
Speaking of, but we appreciate you guys bearing with us this morning. A little bit behind.
look, I'm still in London time.
It's okay.
Look, I shaved
Yep, you look great.
at 3:30 this morning.
I know. I got an email, with the show docket at 5:30 this morning. So I woke up to it, and I was like, okay. I was like, we're rolling.
I'm back.
I was like, Lloyd might even be there when I get there this morning.
No,
So
fell
then
right back asleep.
I started setting the stream up, and I was like, wait, does that say 6:57?
It's time to go. Oh,
Oh. But we're rocking and rolling this morning. Appreciate you guys bearing with
watch
us,
basketball last
as
night.
always. Oh, yeah? What'd you
Yeah.
think? Did you watch the NBA lottery last night?
Oh,
Rigged.
I think it is.
Dude, I'm telling you, what? It definitely is. Because if you...
Well, they're not even trying anymore.
No, they're not even trying to
hiding
cover it up. Because you go back to this gives me shades of the Pelicans in 2019 where you trade your best player to LA and you get rewarded with the number 1 overall pick, who's this generational talent from Duke. It's literally the same exact situation that happened when the Pelicans got Zion. Give the Lakers your best player, and we will return the number 1 pick, nice, back to you. And so it's got to be rigged because the Pelicans have the 4th best odds. They dropped to 7, and number 1 and number 2 both end up in the Southwest Division as the Mavs go 1 and Spurs get the 2nd pick. In other news headlines, LSU Baseball ranked number 1 in all of the major polls as we approach the final weekend of the regular season. LSU is the top team in the country. Also, the LSU Sports Hall of Fame class was announced yesterday. The inductees are 6 different individuals, obviously, and some friends of the show involved. Tamika Johnson gets announced, women's basketball 02 to 05, and then let me get back down here to the list. We've got Cornelia Gayden, women's basketball 92 to 95. Ronald Dupree, men's basketball 2000 to 2003. He is now also the general manager, as we discussed back in the day. Reagan Corville, gymnastics from 2012 to 2015. J. Perry Cole, the men's golf head coach from 1933 to 1943. And then last but not least, one John Brady, LSU men's basketball coach from 1997 to 2008. A very, very good friend of the show and of ours. We have not spoken to him in a while. But congratulations to those 6 inductees. Congrats to Coach John Brady for the recognition that he very much deserves from his time as the LSU men's basketball coach, as he was honored as an SEC basketball legend in 2018. He obviously guided LSU on that 06 Final Four run, and he was just the 3rd coach in school history to accomplish the feat. And in that run, obviously they beat Duke, which was a huge, huge win. And he had some very, very good teams with guys like SEC Freshman of the Year, Taurus Bright, Brandon Bass, Glenn Davis, Tyrus Thomas. I mean, that was 3 years in a row that LSU had the SEC Freshman of the Year when you have Bass in 04, Davis in 05, Thomas in 06, and then he was voted SEC Coach of the Year in 2000 and 2006, and he had SEC Players of the Year in 2000 with Stromile Swift, 05 and 06 with Brandon Bass and Glenn Davis. Congratulations to Coach Brady and the rest of the 2025 LSU Sports Hall of Fame class that was announced yesterday. Lloyd, good morning.
Good morning.
You doing all right back there?
I remember that 2006 year. Christian. I remember that 2006 year, and thinking about that, and like when they beat Duke and how big of a deal it was, is like, I mean, obviously well deserved for what John Brady did in his totality. Like, we still have the trophy over here, but like that whole run is insane. Yeah, go get it, pick it up, pick it up. Now presenting your 2006 Division I men's basketball championship. Noah Tinkle. You almost got that.
Come on.
You did.
Yeah, we got the little tiny.
You got the tiny
up.
one.
Yeah, the little runners up trophy.
Not the Atlanta Regional.
Nope.
Where they beat A1 JJ Redick, who is now.
Yes.
And if you had one game to coach, who would you rather have, John Brady or JJ Redick?
Give me John Brady.
Give me John Brady.
Martians pointing the death beam at Earth.
Oh boy.
I got John Brady. Come on. Look at that thing. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously I was 4 years old when that run happened, so I don't remember it live. But I went back a couple years ago. I think
I was
maybe
at Cold Stone Creamery.
Really?
In Baton Rouge.
In 2016, when they started bringing it back up for the 10-year reunion, that's when I first actually sat down and watched it. And I was like, oh, this is kind of awesome. Because, I mean, I missed it. I was too young. I didn't get to experience it. And at that point in 2016, LSU basketball was not, I mean, that was Ben Simmons. It wasn't very fun. I
had to live that too.
Right.
I went to every game that year.
Really?
Ben Simmons and
Antonio Blakeney.
My muse.
Should
Antonio
have been a legend. I will die on that hill. Me and my dad talked about Blakeney the other night.
I talk about Blakeney like I talk about Ryan Perlou.
It should have been
the roles reversed.
It should have been special.
But Buddy Hield,
that's
Simmons,
why me and Dad were talking about it, because we're watching the Warriors
watched the
play,
highlights the other day.
And my dad was at that game.
I was there.
I wasn't. I didn't make it to that one.
That is the Tim Quarterman special, by the way. I think he was 6 for 6 from three. For some reason, he was wearing the black forces and went off. The Quarterman.
Dog.
Double nickels.
Yep. And so I remember going back in 2016 and watching the Final Four run that this team had with Tasman, Glenn Davis, Tyrus Thomas, Daryl Mitchell. Just dogs, man. Special team. Shout out.
Stole AC Law's heart
Yep.
from Texas A&M with that dagger 3.
Stud.
Legend.
Shout out to Coach John Brady.
Tyrus Thomas ahead of his time.
Definitely.
Or, I think or before or after his time.
Maybe. I think Big Baby was a little bit ahead of his. If he would have been around in the small ball era when the Warriors were balling and the Rockets went full small ball, he'd have been the perfect small ball center, in my opinion.
David West?
Yep. He would have fit in that type of role.
With less charge. Well, maybe same amount of charges.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. But shout out to Coach John Brady and the rest of the class. I'm going to go put this back up, Lloyd. Take it away for a second.
Give it to me.
Oh, you want it?
Yeah. I want to be a champion for a little bit.
Put that thing in the air. Flip that camera. Let them see you. That's a champion.
Champ is here.
Did it even flip, the camera?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it did? Good. Yeah, you're champ, man. Oh, we got the Final Four chair behind you.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it's an 06
big basketball guy over here.
Yeah, shout out. Basketball show, we are. But yes, once again, congratulations to Coach Brady and the rest of that class. Well-deserved for sure. Like we said, LSU Baseball #1 in all of the major polls. Was that a surprise to you, Lloyd? That LSU comes in at #1 in every single major poll?
No.
Not at all.
Did I want it? Yes. We talked to Ethan Fry yesterday.
How was that?
Excellent.
I wasn't able to, and I was at graduation last night. Parkview Baptist School.
Congratulations. From
got
high school?
3 graduations I got to go to this week.
Brutal.
For some reason, my family decided to have children all at the same time.
Well,
we got a Parkview Baptist School.
I think there's a conversation you need to have with the family.
I'm not having a conversation with anybody.
I'm all together?
I'm tired of having to sit through graduations.
New Pope.
Yep. Prevost. But so I wasn't able to tune in. How was one Ethan Fry after his big weekend?
Excellent, because obviously the story of Ethan Fry is one of legend, because comes in highly touted out of Rose Pine, was also recruited to be a quarterback. 6'6".
Wow.
240 coming out of high school at Rose Pine, the pride of Rose Pine. And we pulled up some high school highlights of him playing quarterback. It's like, actually,
he's a dog?
He's a dog.
I mean,
and he's like, I played football. And we're like, the first question is, for how long? Because we asked Jared Jones if he played for 1 year or 2 years because, baseball.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, I played all 4. Back-to-back state champion. in football and baseball.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. And then he obviously has like the part of the, I think, 12 people that were on the 2023 team that are still on the roster. And then he has the tumultuous 2024 where he gets hurt and can't play. And then Mikey begged the question of, why'd you stay? And he's like, because I'm from Louisiana.
Yeah,
what do you mean? That offer when that came was, I remember still sitting down and getting like the phone call when it came through. He's like, I wasn't going anywhere, but how it came about, I was like, it isn't the road I wanted. Like, I don't want to get hurt. Torres labrum, didn't tell anybody, like, except for the team. And, kind of plays through it, whatever. Then he has this breakout year where you're seeing a guy that is a linchpin for what you need for LSU baseball, and a guy that's hit double-digit homers and is, like, your backup to Bear Jones, essentially, in terms of, like, in the lineup where you need somebody else that's a threat that can leave the yard at any point. And also is 6'6", 250, and can run a 4.4.
Yeah, I mean, he can. That's the thing that surprised me most, I think, when I've watched him this year.
We talked about that, too.
Was like, I mean, obviously you knew when you see a big 6'6", 220 guy, like you're expecting, okay, this guy can mash a baseball. Like you're expecting him to leave the yard. But then when you see him,
he is put together.
Like I remember vividly the ninth inning against Tennessee when he hits that that hard chopper to third that gets airmailed over the first baseman that starts the rally. He was moving down the first baseline. He was safe
regardless.
Yeah, like he was, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like he's got wheels.
Well, the LSU strength and conditioning coach put out the tweet. He was like, hits one 110 off the bat and also 20 miles per hour on the ground, like with the catapult system. He's like, yeah, I know it looks like we were bras, but the data comes back and it makes me feel pretty cool about it. So
yeah, no, it worked.
Running 20 miles an hour, yeah, you're breaking the speed limit in the school zone.
That's an alien.
He is.
Like 110 off the bat and you're going 20 miles per hour down the line.
And starting rallies.
Like, dude, alien. But yeah, no, I mean, he is massive for what LSU has done and is going to do this season. I'm glad when I saw the announcement that y'all were going to have him on. I was
he was awesome. Oh, you'd love this.
Okay,
we started the show early because
I saw that
he had Bible study.
Winner.
Even I showed up early.
Winner.
I was like,
there you go. Oh, so you mic'd up, got you early. So
see, I respect God.
It bounces out. I love it. No, I appreciate it. I'm going to start having the show's going to start. I
thought it was 5:45 a.m. and so I was there.
Yeah, there you go.
But he had church camp or what have you.
That's awesome.
6:30, so we got him in there early so we could make sure the interview went swimmingly. And then we had Jay Mitch pop in early, so we started the show early.
There you go.
For respect the Lord, respect the book.
The show early.
I never know when we're going to end that show.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
You've been tangentially tied to how that goes. Yeah. No commercials.
Yeah, that's one of the questions Christian asked. He was like, when he first got there on Monday, he was like, I don't see ads on here. He's like, do they run? I was like, I don't think they run commercials. He's like, really? I was like, yeah, you're just going to start the stream.
End the stream.
Get the video up. You can talk here and there. And then just end it. Then it's over.
It's over.
And then you're good.
Yeah, Mikey was saying, he's like, he just kind of ended it.
Yeah.
He's like, well, he didn't want to fuck it up too bad.
Yeah.
He's like, because you keep it going until it's like, I don't ever know when the show's over.
Right.
And I was like, well, I don't think Christian's going to do that.
No.
He's not going to do the B-roll that we do, kind of end the show but end the show.
Yeah.
He's like, no, it ended and the stream was over. And I was like, yep, that's it.
Oh, I mean,
good heady play.
He knocks it out, he's ready to get out of there. And so, shout out to Christian. We heard a little bit from Christian yesterday as he was pretty depressed about the Pelicans' 7th overall draft pick. But
rigged.
We're going to get into the LSU baseball a little bit more, but a little bit on the NBA draft. So are you fully convinced that it's rigged?
Yeah.
The lottery.
I am now.
Fully sold.
I was, I guess, like a kid at Christmas.
Uh-huh.
You don't want to believe, or you don't want to not believe.
Of course.
And then when you see this one, it's like they're not even hiding it anymore.
Well, I think when you really start to inspect the way some of these Patrick Ewing to the Knicks with the frozen envelope or whatever. Well, now you don't even get to see what happens because you used to have the envelope or the ping pong ball. Like now it's just you don't even know how these things are picked. And so I think when you really start to, and then you go to LeBron to Cleveland, like some of these things match up too well. Where LeBron, He was from Akron.
He's just a kid from Akron.
Yeah, and then Derrick Rose to the Bulls.
Michael Jordan
from Chicago lines up to go to his hometown team, number 1 overall pick. And then you get in some of these past drafts where, to me, the thing that gives it away is 2019 and 2025 are exactly replicas
the same
of each other. Like, the Pelicans trade Anthony Davis to Los Angeles to team up with LeBron, and their reward for that is the number 1 overall pick, who is Zion Williamson from Duke. And now, in 2025, the Mavericks trade their star player to Los Angeles, and their reward for that is the number 1 overall pick, which will be Cooper Flagg from Duke. And then on top of that, I even think
they saved that man's job.
Wembanyama to the Spurs.
Yeah. Well, I don't thought they were going to win
I thought they were going to get it this year. But, I still think that, when you think about, okay, wonder where this kid from France is going to go. Maybe it's the team he grew up loving because Tony Parker was there, who's the greatest French player ever.
Grew up with the Spurs jersey on.
Right. Who else is going to get the number 1 overall pick?
Do I blame him? No.
No.
But do I take the NBA seriously?
No.
Do I enjoy watching it?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll still tune in.
It's the WWE.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. When you think about Kyrie Irving, Cooper Flagg, and Anthony Davis, it's going to be awesome.
That's like I said, they saved that man's job. He was the laughingstock of the NBA.
Nico Harrison.
And, pan the camera to now, what a good trade.
Right now, it's taking this full PR shift when the Lakers lose in the first round, and Luka's getting all this, he's getting dissed because of his defense, and they're like, okay, maybe Nico was onto something. And now they get the number 1 overall pick, and Nico's a mad scientist and made the greatest decision ever. So,
LeBron retires?
This offseason? No. I think he's got
and Bronny goes to the Lakers.
Yep, Bronny. But, that wasn't rigged. That was just LeBron saying, y'all are going to take him with that second-round pick.
Or I'll leave.
Or I'm gone. But this is the thing. Bryce is going to be here in 2 years.
And it'll be a Laker.
That'll be unbelievable.
With the first overall pick. 2027.
Bryce James. That would be awesome.
Bryce Maximus. Leviticus.
Great
Numbers.
name.
Deuteronomy. James.
Okay. I don't think Maximus is a book in the Bible, but yeah, no, it's fully rigged. I watched it last night, and I was like, the Pelicans have the 4th best odds. They dropped to 7, and the 2 teams in their division go 1 and 2. Just absolutely. And now Giannis is going to be a Spur because they're going to trade number 2 overall pick and some other players to get Giannis because he's leaving Milwaukee.
And Popovich retired?
Yeah, did you see the video of Popovich do that press conference?
He looks like he has cancer.
It was rough. Well, he just had a stroke.
See?
It was rough. He stepped into the president his shirt said, did you see what the shirt? He's like, this is my new job. He unzips the jacket, opens it up. It says El Jefe, which I thought was pretty awesome. But so Popovich has stepped out of the way, and they promoted an assistant, I believe.
Becky?
Nope, it was not Becky. Becky's the Las Vegas Aces coach in the WNBA, I believe.
Give him time.
Completely rigged last night. I was convinced last night as well. Christian, let's read some of Christian's tweets because these were electric.
Shit fuck.
Christian went on an absolute rampage.
Well, they sent Zion to the draft.
Right. They thought that would bring some luck, I guess.
Oh, yeah. They should have sent his muse.
Let's see. Christian goes, where does it start? Okay. Wow, I'm still scrolling. He went on a full. All right, let's see. He goes, I can't even read half of it.
I can.
Cooper Flagg could fall to 7, just saying, which is a lie. The Mavs D-eating has to stop. How do you reward the Mavericks after making the dumbest front office decision in league history? Get rid of the lottery. This crap makes no sense. Oh, and the Spurs got the 2nd overall pick. F out of here. The NBA is rigged. I spent my entire time in environmental science class on this website, and not once did the Mavs end up with the 1st overall pick. And then Bappa went on a rage, too, and Christian was all over it. Bappa says, if you ever tell me that tanking is the way to go, bro, I will spit in your face. Christian said, and the Pels didn't even tank. They just suck. It was Bappa says, we had 21 wins and got the 7th effing pick. Oh, my gosh. I'll go to jail right now. And Bappa then says, the Saints and Pelicans will suffer until Gale sells both teams. Christian says, echo. What else? And then he says, Willie Green, you a-hole. I don't even know what Willie Green did.
How's that his fault?
It's not. Christian finally says, the NBA needs to show how they pick the lottery. Until then, the fans will think it's rigged. And that's just his
It is
quote.
a bizarre.
That's just his quote tweets and posts. That's not even the replies.
But is it not a bizarre way to do the dealings? Because obviously the NBA is the easiest one to tank in.
Yes,
but
so easy.
Any sport is the easiest one to tank in if you can just let it happen, like the NBA has, to where it's gotten this unfettered letter of the law. Like if you just lose, you get the number 1 overall pick. Like that's the rules for the NFL as well. But they don't let you really don't tank. And I've talked to Jared Mitchell about this, and he's like, athletes don't think like that. I was like, well, clearly some of them do, where they're okay with tanking. He's like, they don't want to lose their job, and that I totally get. Like from you see it happen in the NFL all the time, where it's like the Cleveland Browns are going to stink, or like tank for Tua, and then the Miami Dolphins win 7 games.
Yeah, and
it becomes like, no, they want to play, and coaches don't want to lose their job either. But in the NBA, it's totally like, yeah, we suck.
Yeah, I mean, I still think there's a level of the players. I just think it's easier to construct.
That's why the Pelicans can't.
It's easier to construct a team that's set up for losing in the NBA than it is.
It's easier to lose basketball than football.
Yes. And the one thing with tanking in the NBA is the highest. Like in the NFL, if you have the worst record, you're going to get the number 1 overall pick. In the NBA, it's different. The NBA, it's these percent. The Mavs had a 1.8% chance at the number 1 overall pick.
You're trying to change the math.
Right. Like 1.8%. I think there was a coin flip between the Mavs and the Bulls to see who gets a 1.8% and who gets a 1.7%. So like it's all this math and science down to these percentages. But truly, I believe until they show like the way that it's truly broken down, I don't think anyone will ever believe that it's not rigged. Like the Jazz, I think, were the worst team, and the Wizards were just as bad, and I don't even know if they finished in the top 4. Like I think the top 4 was Dallas, San Antonio, Philadelphia, and Charlotte were the top 4 picks. Like that just proved like that shows you not to obviously don't tank because it doesn't work. Because even if you're the worst team in the league, you'll end up with the 5th or 6th pick instead of top 4. Yeah, the Jazz and Wizards end up at 5 and 6. The top 10 goes as follows: Dallas, San Antonio, Philadelphia.
76ers.
Yep, Philadelphia, which they were bad, but it's because their players were hurt. Charlotte 4, Jazz, Washington, New Orleans at 7, Brooklyn, Toronto, Houston, and then rounding out the lottery, the Trailblazers at 11, Bulls at 12, Hawks at 13, Spurs at 14. So the Spurs have the 2nd overall pick and the 14th overall pick. Dallas, 1.8% odds to earn the number 1 overall pick.
They're in the play-in.
More shocking, but it has happened before. The Magic in 1993,
who'd they get?
Had a 1.52% chance to earn the first pick.
And who'd they draft?
I think that was 92 was Shaq.
And then
93 was Penny.
Penny.
Well, they drafted Chris Webber
and then
traded him for Penny. Yeah. So the one, but yeah, that's the crazy thing. Dallas was in the play-in. Like
they've been rigging it since at least since 93.
I mean, you go back to Ewing, the frozen envelope. That's one of the most
storied
conspiracy theoried drafts ever.
Bill Simmons.
Yeah. I mean, the Dallas Mavericks were in the play-in tournament, and they ended up with the 1st overall pick because they gave LA a star. Like, that's the thing that makes this whole thing go round, is the biggest brand in the sport got the best player available in a trade, and that team gets rewarded for giving LA their player. Because the trade makes no sense when you really look at it from a totality perspective. It didn't make sense then. It still doesn't make sense now. Because Luka is one of one.
He can't play defense.
Whatever. He scored 34, 10, and 10. He had 34, 10, and 10 averages. I get they didn't play defense.
The Mavericks fan base credit for saying, like, showing how much they care. They're like, oh, I didn't know that we had such a market in basketball. I would say bigger than the Spurs, bigger than the Rockets. When you saw how much they cared, that's like
I don't know
maybe
if it's bigger
reward
than the Spurs, but it's definitely up there.
I think
Spurs is more
market wise.
Yeah, Spurs is more global.
That's El Jefe.
Right. Well, that's just because they got guys like Parker and Ginobili and
Tim Duncan.
Go down the list. But yeah, no, I mean, I think you really truly realized how big that Mavericks fan base is
and how important Dallas is.
Yeah, when you saw what truly happened.
And you see how important Dallas is once again when LSU signs up for another.
Come on. Home and home.
But not home and home.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, that's still on the table, but I don't think they're going to play it in Jerry's World.
Yeah, how many people does SMU Stadium hold? Do you know? Because it shocked me.
40?
32.
Really?
They can't play it there.
No, there's no way.
Dallas will get run over by LSU. I mean, the bars can't handle that.
LSU Baseball fills out Alex Box in half of that number.
At 1 a.m.
Like, it can't be played. It's going to be played in Jerry. It has to be. Which means does the alternate, the Louisiana game, get played in the Superdome?
I don't think SMU cares like that.
I don't know. I mean, because the Florida State game was New Orleans game one, and then Orlando, kind of home-ish. So will it?
I mean, I wouldn't mind it in New Orleans, but I think the bigger conversation is we've had how many conversations about trying to avoid these week one matchups, and
this is
now when you're actually in charge, like you can actually schedule it out correctly.
Right.
You go, no, we're double down on. And I understand that LSU has a huge alumni base in Texas and in Dallas, and I understand all of that. And bring it, let them all see it. You could also do that week 2. But look, I'm not one to run.
No,
but SMU is about to be a power in college football. This is another step in that direction.
Are they? Do you truly believe that they're going to be a power?
There's the money.
I agree on the money.
The money is insane.
I
don't think people realize.
Right. I just don't think
Billions.
It makes me feel the same way that Florida State and Clemson have.
Oh, I'm more scared of SMU than Clemson.
Really?
The way that they're going to go all in, let me buy back in, because it doesn't mean anything to them. It's just money.
Right? No, I mean, I know they have the money.
It took LSU to have their head coach to put up $1 million.
Right.
Do you know who SMU's head coach is?
No.
And here they are playing LSU in 2028.
Yeah, I mean, they were a college football playoff team last year.
Uh-huh.
But
Duncanville is right down the road.
Yeah, but those, they go to Texas. They're still competing with Texas has the money, too. A&M has the money, too. They're still competing. Not the same money.
SMU has more money than both of those.
And then, but once revenue sharing is still a conversation that needs to be had. Well, they're not going to get the same revenue share.
This is the road not less traveled for SMU.
Right.
They know how to do it.
Yeah, no, I mean, they did. It doesn't have that same.
It will.
We'll see.
It will.
I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, we still got, 3 years before that game?
Yeah, there'll be a power.
You think so? Really? Truly?
Yeah, I do.
Think they're going to be a power.
Mm-hmm. Who challenges them aside from just in the conference that they play in? Everybody else skedaddled to the SEC.
I mean, they're in the ACC.
It's what?
Which
Clemson?
Is still Clemson, Florida State, which we'll see if that can. Miami's still there. The ACC is still the same.
It's up for grabs.
Technically. But they lost the ACC.
It's not the SEC where everybody's bludgeoning themselves and trying to fight for.
Right, but
they're all good. Let's all get them in.
The top end of the ACC is still.
ACC got 2 teams in.
Oh, right. But most people would say they didn't deserve to get 2 teams in. But I get that it's not the level of the SEC, but that doesn't mean that.
But you're fighting for one spot as opposed to the SEC, which is fighting everybody for what, like how many teams can they get in? Do they deserve to get that many teams in? Oh, is LSU good? Oh, is Georgia back?
Right.
Like you could name all 16 SEC teams. I can't 100%. Name all the ACC
but that doesn't
teams.
mean you don't have to.
That's my point.
I'm just saying, but that doesn't mean the competition's like not there because you can't name all 16 teams. You can name 5 of them.
I would rather fight for
5
people than 16.
10 times out of 10. But that doesn't mean the SMU is going to become the class of the ACC because they only have to fight. They have to fight less teams.
I'm just saying there's more opportunities to get to the table. Rather fight 1 gorilla or 5 gorillas.
Well, there's a different. There's also a different. Like there's 2 sides to that. Of well, the SEC has more competition, but they're getting 4 teams in. As opposed to, like you're fighting for 4 spots, as opposed for fighting for 1 spot. So the ACC has 5 teams fighting for 1 spot. The SEC has what? I mean, I wouldn't say 16 teams because I don't think all 16 are vying for a spot. 12 teams fighting for 4 spots.
3. How many got in last year?
Tennessee,
mollywopped.
Texas, Georgia. And that would be it. That was it last year. But I think year in, year out, it'll probably be around 4.
And what was the argument the entire time? Alabama deserves to be in. If LSU doesn't lose, they should be in.
South Carolina, Ole Miss.
Yeah, so you had 6 teams that were vying for 1 spot. And I would say Ole Miss, LSU, at some points, Alabama. They would probably all have rather seen them in than SMU.
Of course.
Like if they played, it would have been a what? What would be the spread? 1.5?
Right. I just think with the conversation
because SMU ran through the ACC.
Right.
They got in.
Yeah.
So they'll always have a shot.
Right, and that's not what I'm saying that they won't always have a shot. I just don't think they're going to be a power.
That's a power, a playoff team every year.
Well, yeah, in your conference, but that's not a power to LSU. I'm saying from LSU's
LSU can't get in the playoff.
Yeah, they're not in the ACC. Right, but that's still not making SMU a power. Just because the conferences are like they can control their conference and not be a power to LSU.
Would you rather be a playoff team or be in the Capital One Bowl?
I'm not disputing that SMU
that makes you a power. That just makes you a power.
Not to me. If I'm looking at it from LSU's perspective, Georgia's a power, Texas is a power, Ohio State is a power. Oregon is a power. SMU's not a power. SMU's not going to win national championships. To me, that's a power. You're a power if you can win the national championship.
That's just that you'll have to get adjusted.
To what?
Learning that they're going to be a power.
Or to me in 2028.
Like, did you ever think Clemson was a power whenever you played LSU Clemson against Taj Boyd? You're like, oh, they're going to go on a national championship run.
I didn't think they were a power.
But
that's also a bowl game at the end of the year.
Right. I'm just saying, no, like when you look at it, like, oh, we lost to Clemson. Like, that didn't mean anything to me. LSU was up 21-0 at halftime, and then you look up and you lost on a field goal at the last second. You're like, oh, that didn't mean anything. But slowly, quietly, they were building a team that could rip off national championships. You look at SMU, they're in the same boat. And now when money is at play and they have gobs of it, this could be a thing, and you have the recruiting resource. Like Texas will always be the one.
Yes,
you see it, and you
they have the recruiting.
Sarkisian crushed the interview with Josh Pate.
He did. It was
like
awesome.
That was as good as I've ever seen.
I'm not a big Sarkisian guy.
Me either, but it made me be like, okay, I get it.
Yeah,
you can see how his brain works. Because I was off of him after that little fiasco with the guy that was trying to can't come out the tunnel yet, and he's like, "I'll fucking kill you." And he's like,
he looks like that Tennessee pitcher that's sprinting in, literally.
Like, what are you doing?
Bit his hand off.
And so after that, I was like, "All right, Sarkisian's off the deep end again." But that interview, he looked like and spoke it, and it was kind of like a Lane Kiffin like little
heel turn.
Yeah, where you're like, oh, I see why people want to play for him. Like he's kind of like he's a genius.
Yeah, he's smart.
And so Texas will always be there, and that's the foreseeable future. But once Arch leaves, SMU is going to be in that running of slowly getting the amount of play. Like, that's a threat to LSU also. Like, LSU goes into Duncanville and gets Caden Durham. If SMU has the money that they have, I could see Caden Durham in an SMU uniform. They're the exact same.
Yeah.
Uniform.
Right. No, it is the exact same uniform. I don't know. I guess, and Seville Noah's old school mentality. I don't think I'm old school mentality. I don't think so.
It just hasn't happened to you yet. You haven't seen one.
I don't think I'm old school mentality because I'm still.
You name Miami as a power.
Money. They have it.
They don't know how to spend it.
I'm saying
they're paying for abortions.
If we're basing it around money, there are plenty of schools that have it. Now maybe SMU has a lot of it, but they don't have the brand along with the money, and maybe they'll build that up over time. I just have to see it. In Texas, everyone has money. Now, does everyone have SMU money? No. Texas has money. A&M has money. Texas Tech has money. TCU has money. Baylor has money.
Eric Dickerson.
Yeah, what year was that? If we're talking about me being old school mentality, like SMU, look, Brian
1980.
What year is it? 2025.
When cocaine was good.
The
money was clean.
It's going to get played in 2028. Like, I'm not saying that LSU shouldn't be, like, when they get there that I'm going to be like, oh, it's just SMU, whatever, brush it off the shoulder. I just don't think that right now when I'm looking at it, I see SMU being this national championship power contender in 2028. But if it happens, it happens. And, I mean, I'll probably still be talking to this microphone on Tingle & Co. when we get there. I'm at the point of I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I'm just saying this is called projecting.
Yeah.
I'm a big futures guy.
I see that. And I'm just projecting that I don't think it's going to be SMU's going to be a national champion.
Speaking of,
in 2028.
Went to lunch with a buddy yesterday.
Okay.
And
Speaking
I was like,
futures?
I was like, what do you think LSU's win total is? When we did the whole song and dance again.
Okay.
And he's like, 9.5. I was like, subtract 1. And then we
8.5
went through the
crazy.
schedule. I was like, do it as negatively as you can. And he's like, I'm still at 9.
No, I'm with you. I don't see LSU ending 8-4.
And
There's no way.
And he counted the Clemson game as a loss. And he's like, that'll suck. But if I'm doing it by the book of if you think LSU wins or loses and you want to pick a loss, that's what he did. You still ended up at 9 wins.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, to me, you're
minus
playing
140 on
Ole Miss away, playing Alabama away. Those are two, if I'm looking at negatively, losses. Clemson away, loss. You have South Carolina at home. You have Florida at home. You have A&M at home. Like, you have Arkansas at home. Like, you have everybody at home.
I'm not necessarily scared of going to Oklahoma.
No. Or Nashville.
Been there, not scared.
Like,
they don't even know football's going on.
8.5 to me is crazy. And in the document, you had what? You have some of the opponents' moves that they've made.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, when you really stack up the schedule, and that first month, to me, is key. If they make it through the first month undefeated, they make it through September undefeated, they've got a really good shot. Because the first month of the season is Clemson, Florida, Ole Miss, all three in September. Even though Clemson's August 30th, but we're going to count that in the first month discussion. Clemson with the portal ranking. LSU obviously was number 1, transfer portal additions. Clemson had the number 37 portal class, which is probably their highest ever.
It's the only time
they've used it.
Yeah. It's a good start.
They added 2 edge rushers and a wide receiver.
Well, interesting that they add edge rushers after LSU loses 2 bookend tackles.
Right.
Like, maybe we won. Like, let's try to win this first one, and this is the way to do it.
Yeah, and they obviously have, like, when we talked about their draft, like the 2025,
they're
2026
stacked on
draft,
the defensive line.
They've got 2 D linemen going in the top 10. So, I mean, that's obviously a discussion.
Speaking of futures, setting up for disaster.
Yeah, speaking of futures, I'm going to get
Don't be surprised.
As we're talking about the 2028-2029 openers, let's get back to 2025 as Clemson's adding some defensive ends. Jeremiah Alexander is from Alabama, former 5-star. He was ranked the number 42 edge rusher in the portal. Clemson did not lose a single player rated 4 stars in the portal, according to On3. But 6 of their 7 departures went to other Power 4 programs. So, Helt, the other edge rusher they added, was a 4-star addition. Someone LSU was rumored to be looking at.
Number 5 edge, number 141 player in the portal per On3.
So he's somebody that obviously, if LSU was on him, talented player. And Alexander's another guy that was a former 5-star. He was the number 42 edge rusher in the portal, but Helt was number 5. And then Florida had a portal class that was ranked number 64. Florida added 6 players and lost 20, including 2 LSU additions, and Jakeem Jackson and Jack Pyburn were 2 of those 20 that headed to Baton Rouge. So they added a wide receiver in Sturdivant, edge rusher, and Kofi Asari, and a safety in Michael Caraway. They had the number 64 class. Now when you get into the real competition, Ole Miss, not the real competition, I'm talking about portal-wise. Ole Miss had a portal class ranked number 3, 2 spots behind LSU.
31 people leave and 28 people come in.
Ole Miss did? Oh, my word. Like, that's the thing, man. They're in this business of refreshing every season.
I don't want to see LSU get that far into...
Because that's bad. That is bad.
That's a whole different roster.
That is bad. Like, I wonder, you know how LSU talks about their percentages? Like, wanting this percent to be
it was
guys that were in-house, this many high school guys, this percent of...
building a program.
This is like usage. Like, if you're looking at usage rate, you're like 100% gone. You're adding in your new 100%.
How do you even commit there?
It's unbelievable. They add one Deshaun Womack, an LSU
added
guy.
7 4-stars without losing one.
Interesting. Sage Ryan, also a portal addition for Ole Miss.
5-star.
Caleb Odom, who's the big guy, 5-star from Alabama, transferred to Ole Miss as well.
And somebody near and dear to our heart.
Oh, yeah?
Deshaun Womack.
Yep.
From LSU.
Yep. He was their big, I think they're like their first big fish addition. And I think he'll be a significant piece for Ole Miss. So they've gone out and obviously rebuilt their roster through the portal in quite the impressive way. Losing 31 players.
You could have literally
adding 28.
A new defense and a new offense.
Like 28 players is an entirely new starting 11 on both sides of the ball.
With 6 to spare. And 6 to run on kick.
Like, unbelievable. And then South Carolina, they had a portal class ranked number 27. Texas A&M, portal class number 17. Alabama, 62. Oklahoma, 50. So, obviously, every team sprinkled in the portal, but Ole Miss, unbelievable. Portal class number 3, but they lost 31 players from their roster. And that's only counting the portal. Like, they also had everybody leave for the draft. Their starting quarterback was drafted. Their star defensive line was drafted, Walter Nolan. Like, they're going to have an entirely new roster.
Yeah, but it's going to be good.
It is. And so, but still looking at that, if I'm going to the schedule, like you said, 8.5 is the win total. If LSU goes 8-4,
I'll kill myself.
It's an absolute,
abject disaster.
Yes. Like, absolute, like,
you
would have to
can't do
lose.
what they've done. Like, LSU's not even on this list of portal rankings because it's, like, far and away the number 1 team. And you do it again when you go get a safety where it, like, didn't feel like the LSU was ever in those conversations a year ago.
Right.
2 years ago. 3 years ago. And now it becomes, sneaky safety enters the portal, and you're like, that would be great for LSU to get, like, a legit player.
Number 1 player in the portal.
Shut it down, LSU.
Yep. He gets on the campus. He goes to Miami.
With Rick Ross.
Gets driven around by Rick Ross as a chauffeur. And leaves campus. Because that's the thing now. If they make it off of campus without a commitment, you think you're out of it. And so he leaves. He makes it out of Coral Gables and heads to Baton Rouge. 30 minutes after he posts a picture outside of his hotel room, the commitment announcement comes in. Shout out. Did you read Wilson's write-up on LSU NIL Austin Thomas. It was excellent. We talked about it a little bit last week while you were in London town.
Yeah, I didn't get the advocate.
But it was great. It was really good.
Oh, no, I'm one of the biggest Austin Thomas advocates that there will be.
Good play.
Thank you.
But, yeah, no, I mean, they went all kind of the way they broke down.
He's the general manager.
Yeah, I
mean, legitimately.
Yeah, they took a trip to Seattle and Houston to break down the way you evaluate positions. And they had it.
Two teams that have crushed the draft in totality.
Yes. And they've had it, like, they did that in August before the season started. So, like, this was, as much as the Bryce Underwood thing, because he talks about that, like, kind of lit a fire, they were ready to go all in on this offseason. Regardless. And so, last year, and when I was talking about last year, LSU was battling for a D lineman against Miami, and I think it was Simeon Barrow was his name, and took him to Supper Club, the whole deal. They lose. A.J. Halsey, it's between LSU and Miami, and a year later, LSU wins that fight. And then, speaking of spring portal additions, Bernard Gooden, number one player at his position in the transfer portal, at a position of need.
Like you're losing count.
Yeah. And
if you got Bernard Gooden last year, we would still be talking about it.
100%. When you were talking about the spring window, what did you dub it as? What was LSU looking for?
Cherries.
Yeah, like a hired gun. Mm-hmm. Like you have your spots that you need, go get the best guy at that spot. And they went 2 for 2. We need a D lineman and a safety. Let's get the number one defensive lineman and the number one safety and get them committed.
And go 8-4.
That would be an absolute disaster.
That's a Brian Kelly fault.
Because if it's 8-4,
and I don't think they will.
No, and if it was 8-4, I would say they lose to Clemson, Florida, Ole Miss, Alabama. I think those 3 would be locks. Those are the 3 away games that are kind of tough to win. You haven't beat Alabama and T-Town since 19. You haven't beat Ole Miss and Oxford since 2019, and Clemson's a season opener. You haven't won one of those since 2019. So if history's telling me anything, those 3 would be losses. Outside of that, the game that would be, I don't think they lose to Arkansas or Vandy or Oklahoma. I guess it would be Florida or South Carolina at home would be the 4th loss. It's even hard for me to look that negatively at it.
But just because it's at home.
Right. It would be between those 2 games, to me, would be the 4th loss.
Yeah.
One of those 2. I just think 8.5. There's no way LSU goes 8-4. If they go 8-4, it's an absolute disaster. And
they go 9-3. It's not great.
Oh yeah, no. If you don't make the playoff, it's
and I wouldn't
way below.
I wouldn't sit here and say this if they didn't do what they did.
Right. No, they went out and they made it known before the offseason. Brian Kelly, the quote that's going to be played all season. If they lose to Clemson, this quote will be plastered everywhere. It will be, we're taking receipts. We'll see you at the national championship. Right? So that kicks it off. And then they go out and get Garrett Nussmeier
literally
back.
Pay and
they
get receipts.
Get Harold Perkins back. And then they go and, like Lloyd said, they get actual receipts for the payments they made to bring in these guys.
19 players through the portal?
I think it's 18 or 19. And it's the number 1 class, number 3 all time. Since they started recording the transfer portal in 2022. No, not at all. And the 2 teams, the 2 classes that were rated higher than LSU all time from 247.
Ohio State?
No, were Ole Miss and USC from the first portal opening in 2022. Because USC, that was Lincoln Riley coming over, Caleb Williams, that whole class. That was the highest rated ever.
Caleb Williams will shift the.
And then Ole Miss's class
on the scale.
In 2022 was the 2nd highest ranked ever. So since that first original transfer portal offseason, this is the highest rated class ever in what LSU's put together this offseason. So, I mean, it's
like I said,
the expectations are there.
Oh, and you're out of moves.
Sabrion says Oklahoma might be a bigger threat than Ole Miss. Oklahoma, it doesn't move the needle for them, but maybe it should. Because they went out and they got, what's his name, Mateer, the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Brent Venables, obviously the head coach, so the defense is going to be there. And you're traveling to Norman, a place that when's the last time they've played Oklahoma in Norman? Ever? David Reed, 8-4 would land for sale signs in BK's front yard. Yeah. I think 9-3 could also have a similar effect.
But Ben Arbuckle doesn't really move the needle for me.
Who's that?
Oklahoma's offensive coordinator. Like, Seth Luttrell was the name that I knew.
Right.
And they got rid of him, and then they bring in Ben Arbuckle.
So
Washington State. Like, I'm sure, like, that offense plays at Washington State.
He came from Washington. So he's tied with Mateer.
Yeah.
Because that's where they
got both.
Okay. I mean, so that's obviously a storyline to keep. And so good point by you, Sabrion. That'll be one to keep the eye on. So that could also be the fourth life. It burns down. I just think at that point in the year, you're playing Oklahoma the final game of the season.
You saw even in a year where you went 8-4 that they still cared.
Yeah, and that was to me the most complete game they played all year was that Oklahoma game because you had Chris Hilton as your deep threat. Nussmeier gets hurt, comes back, tore it all up in the shoulder, and starts ripping touchdowns. He's running the football. Your defense was stout.
Give him Toradol every game.
Sabrion, what makes you think Ole Miss will be good, Noah? It's more of a playing the history than anything else. Like, so when I was looking at the schedule, you haven't beat Ole Miss in Oxford since 2019, right? You beat them in 2020 at home with the Kayshon Boutte, like, breakout game when he has 400 million yards and scores all those touchdowns. In 2021, you get walloped by Matt Corral. In 2022, you beat them at home in the Jaden Daniels kind of comeback game. And in 2023, you get run out in the barn burner in Oxford. So, like, you haven't won in Oxford since you had Joe Burrow at quarterback. So I'm more playing the history than I am playing what Ole Miss has on the roster. I think they're going to have a talented roster because Kiffin has continued to produce talented teams. And they've gone in the portal and they've put together talented rosters.
They brought in 28.
They brought in 28 guys.
Kicked out 31.
Like, they told 31 guys to leave, and they brought in 28 of them. And so to me,
if Sage Ryan makes a play,
right? I'm just playing the
Deshaun
history
Womack
more than
makes a
anything
play.
else. Yeah.
But I'm with you because
I'm just playing the history more than
you have
anything.
to. And
Like,
Lane Kiffin is going to score points.
Yep, it's going to happen. Spectrum Walker, Noah living in the past. I don't think I'm living in the past. I'm playing the history. Like, it's something you haven't done since 2019. It's the same reason people have a certain feeling about season openers, because you haven't won it in 5 years. You haven't won at Oxford since Joe Burrow was your quarterback. Glimmer for that. Noah's got us 2-2 after the first month, if I recall his rant last week. I don't think I said that. I'm just saying you could very well be 2-2 after your first month.
Losing to Clemson in Florida?
Clemson, Ole Miss, Clemson, Florida. Like, you have to play those 3 games in your first month. That's tough.
Don't sleep on Tech.
Yeah, and Southeastern. I mean,
you move that game up.
Yeah. So, I mean, I agree that Ole Miss is going to have a quarterback that's in his first year of starting. They're going to have all these new faces, go down, all the story. I'm just looking at it from the fact that you have not gone to Oxford and won since you had the greatest team ever assembled.
I agree.
And you had, 2023, I get the defense was bad. That was a good team, and you went to Oxford and didn't win.
And people, in the offseason, it's easy to look at the schedule and go, that's a win, that's a win, that's a win. You forget what it's like to be on the road in the SEC where, you went to A&M last year and it all fell apart in front of you. Like, you're the raccoon with cotton candy.
Yes.
You dipped it in the water and it all went away. You're like, what?
Where's it at?
There's the season.
What happened?
That's gone.
And
that's what can happen in an SEC road game and especially when you have what you have and what you've done through a transfer portal season where you have all these new guys, they go on the road for the first time in the SEC and they're like, what the fuck is happening? Like,
yeah.
This is what it's like.
This is the college football. Enjoy it.
This is what it's like you signed up for this. Like, this is war, brother.
Like, to me, and I think that LSU has the better roster. If you're matching up LSU and Ole Miss, take everything out of it. Roster
better
against
quarterback.
roster. You have the better I think it's a win.
The only thing that you have to ask about LSU And, like, there's no way to prove it till you see it as what happens on the offensive line and what you do defensively.
Because and this was something we touched on last week, was I saw everybody has their high expectations. Like, last week was the week of everyone going all in on LSU after the Hall of Fame.
Of course.
Everyone started, and I'm for it.
I watched his highlights yesterday.
Yes. Like, it
looks like he should have been at LSU for 3 years.
He very well could end up being the best player on your team, especially on your defense when you look at the season. And
no expectations there, brother.
Right.
Don't miss the tackle.
Yeah, you better not screw up, buddy. We've seen bad safety play.
$2 million, that's my money.
For that?
God damn it.
Could have kept St. Ryan for free. And so when I saw one, our guy.
What am I paying for?
Our guy, Chris Phillips from SEC Unfiltered, his thought process was, if LSU, he was like, I'm not saying LSU is going to be bad, but I'm going to have to see Nussmeier radically, learn how to protect the ball. To me, Nussmeier's like my 10th concern on the list. I ripped off like 5 things I'm more concerned about before Garrett Nussmeier.
Left tackle, right tackle, center,
right.
guard.
Offensive line, number 1. Defense meshing, because it's all new faces.
Offensive coordinator.
Run game and offensive coordinator. Those are 5 things I'm more nervous about, and I can keep going before I'm nervous about Garrett Nussmeier. Punter. Like,
more concerned about punter than the quarterback.
Yes. I'm not concerned about Garrett Nussmeier at all. Sabron, how much did they pay Halsey? I'm not sure. How much? I thought you said how much will they play Halsey? And I was going to say every down.
Every down, yeah, play offense.
You can do everything.
For what they paid him.
Yeah, all that money better be the kicker.
And he can pass.
But yeah, Sabron, O-line, that's the number 1 concern, and it will continue. It's the number 1 concern in May. Just wait until we get to August.
Oh, wait for the first false start or the first delay of game.
Oh, my gosh, it's going to be.
On the first play.
Matthew Conkle, he's my 3rd. Nussmeier's your 3rd concern.
Conkle!
Okay. What's 1 and 2? I'm not opposed to Nussmeier being a concern because
I am.
When you looked at Texas A&M, even the South Carolina win, like when you really break down some of the bad throws, he made some bad throws. But I just think he made a whole lot of good throws that outweighed him. Sabrion, run game is number 2, special teams 3, defense 4.
O-line 1.
Yeah, that's what he has, O-line at 1.
I agree. I mean, O-line, like, there's no way to know.
Yeah.
That's why it's a concern, because you haven't seen it yet.
Yep.
It could be great.
I hope it is.
Same thing with the run game. It could be great.
Could be excellent.
You made changes along all of those fronts, right? You brought in a new run game coordinator. You have tight ends everywhere. You brought in new people to play offensive line. All of those are question marks because you haven't seen it yet. There was no spring game. There's no real way to evaluate it.
Yes.
Like at practice, what do you see people hit their brother-in-law on it? Like, there's no way to know. And you have defensive line that's a new coach.
Right.
That should be a concern. Like, these are all like little question marks. Garrett Nussmeier is an exclamation point.
Yeah. Cornerback 2 is a question mark. Who's going to play there? We don't know yet.
And that's what this whole conversation circles back to. You have to figure it out week 1.
Yes.
You don't have time.
No, at all. It has to be figured out.
The path needs to be cleared.
1. Yes. And this is my issue is I feel like a lot of times LSU's roster or LSU's lineup in week 8 when they're going into Alabama or wherever always looks different than it does in game number 1. In game number 7, it always looks different than game 1. And to me,
it should.
Right, it should. But a lot of times it looks like if you go back to 2022,
if you lose week 1, you better hope to God
it looks different.
That it not only looks different, but you're the team that everybody's going, oh, you're running through people.
Right.
Like week 6, week 7, week 8, where you go to Alabama and win by 10. You go on the road to Ole Miss and win by whatever, like 14.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so that's week 3 you're playing Ole Miss? Week 4?
No, it's week 3 is Florida. Week 5 is Ole Miss.
Yeah, so if you start there, if you lose to Clemson and then week 5 you like make a statement on the road,
right,
where you win, and it's like
last season.
Yeah, and it starts to be like, okay, LSU is watch out, where you're like not in the, you're in like on the bubble. and then you start stacking wins, go to Alabama and win. It's like they're too good to ignore.
I agree.
If you lose week 1, that's your way in. You can have
What happened last year? You lost week 1. You get that win against Ole Miss.
It happened 2 years ago.
Right.
It happened 3 years ago. It happened 4 years ago.
That's true. Last season, I vividly remember we sat here after the Ole Miss win, like, God, season's. I mean, it's right there in front of you. We beat Arkansas. LSU beat Arkansas the next weekend. It was okay, guys. This is real. They beat A&M this weekend.
I went to Arkansas.
You drove all the way out there. It was awesome.
That's how much I believe.
And so, like,
Podunk Town.
What I was kind of thinking, the line of thought I had was, I would like LSU's best team to be out there week 1, and that hasn't happened yet, you know. But I'm not saying that, like, there's good reason. You kind of figure out who guys are as the season goes on. I would just like to have the best, your lineup to be kind of set before you go week 1.
This is so funny because all of these things are absolutely true.
What?
Read in the chat. Like, how much times have changed from Les Miles having a play sheet to Conkle? If Brian Kelly doesn't have a play sheet and headset on in week 1, we riot.
I mean, it looked considerably better last season.
I don't know about better or different.
Different.
It looked more managed.
Yes.
But I don't. Man's old.
Yeah, no, he is, but I mean it.
And another, in the chat, P-Dub, for context, our leading rusher didn't start week 1.
That's what I was talking about. Like, why do we, like, those things need to be figured out before week 1. Caden Durham should have played against USC.
Well, you had John Emery.
Still. That's who was back there on that 4th and 1 when you got
a bad play call.
I mean, it was, but still. I saw Caden Durham make that play against South Carolina in week 3.
Caden Durham played out of necessity against South Carolina. You didn't have anybody else.
Right.
And it's like, oh, maybe we have something. What a bug.
Why didn't we figure that out during the spring, summer, or fall?
Oh, the 5-star you got?
Like, I mean, I get that he wasn't an early enrollee because he was running track at Duncanville. But he should have been, like, that's one of those talents where it's like, Coach, we have a guy. Like, that's why, like, DJ Pickett better be on that field week 1. I'm not doing this.
Like your grandpa.
I'm not doing this deal where we have these.
Better be on that field.
Where Harold Perkins gets played in week 5. Like, you have a talented freshman, put him on the field. Brock TV, don't expect
be on that field.
Don't expect to see true freshmen play game 1. That's my problem. And I remember talking about it. Well, I don't remember what year it was, but I remember Jacques made fun of me for saying something about seniority because I would love to see some true freshmen that have talent get to play in game number 1 instead of figuring it out in game 4.
That's a Coach O versus BK thing.
It is. BK likes to play the older, experienced guys. But sometimes you have a talent like Harold Perkins and Caden Durham and DJ Pickett that they should be on the field game 1. Will Campbell, he was fine with that. With Will Campbell starting game 1.
Necessity. Eric Gilbert got to play.
Yeah, that was for Coach O.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's my litmus test. Where's he been? I don't know, but he's here today.
I think he's at.
I'm just saying for LSU. I'm sure that wasn't easy.
No,
it's like, oh, put him in.
Yeah, make that happen. So we rolled right past 8 a.m. this morning.
Football will get you going, brother.
Does. It sure will. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll reset, and we'll figure out what we're going to talk about next. So Matthew Conkle, before we hit the break. All right, my negativity is flushed from the system. F it, we ball. We're winning it all this season. 10-2 in the playoffs run through the real Death Valley. Come on.
10-2 still sounds like
no. I want 11-1.
Heartbroken.
11-1.
12-0.
12-0. You want to just win the whole thing?
What am I paying for?
Amen. Let's do it.
God, if they win a natty this year.
Sabrion, there's a realistic chance.
What a kickoff to Tingle and Co.
Come on, Tingle and Co. National champions, baby.
Burn bright.
It would be, and I would then spin it in the fact that we did that.
Of course.
Like, we won it. It doesn't happen without Tingle and Co.
No. And you'll be along for the ride every step of the way.
Every step of
Every
the
away
way.
game.
Come on.
Every
right
home
here.
game.
Maybe.
That's up to you.
We'll
I'll
see
be
what happens.
hammered in the stands.
Amen.
Because they need me.
Matthew, shoot, I did it again. Sorry, guys. Yep, let's ball. We'll be right back after this.
Let's go golfing.
Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
Are you looking for sound financial advice? Then get in touch with Daniel Newman of Edward Jones. You can call him today at 225-261-8262 or email him daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. If you're planning for retirement, saving for college for children or grandchildren, or just looking for sound investment opportunities, get in touch with Daniel today, 225-261-8262, located on Magnolia Square Drive in Central. Daniel Newman of Edward Jones.
Well, the Oscar Andrews Sports Medicine Institute collaborative effort was an idea from Dr. Andrews and myself to bring together two great names, the Andrews name and the Ochsner name, to elevate the quality of care for athletes in the state of Louisiana, where he's from.
I always thought I would come back to Louisiana and practice orthopedics with my subspecialty being sports medicine. This was an opportunity through Ochsner's to come back and work the entire state to help develop and take sports medicine to a new level.
As an orthopedic surgeon, what this means in the future in terms of, access for our community to the type of care that Dr. Andrews pioneered, words can't describe how valuable that is.
Ochsner has a great opportunity here to really grow, and Dr. Burnham, of course, is the mainstay of making that happen. If you want to have first-class sports medicine care, check in with Dr. Burnham and his group, and you'll be more than impressed and pleased.
4A Insurance Agency, established in 1946, helping you with your home, auto, commercial, life and health insurance needs. Around in Baton Rouge at 4275 Government Street and online at 4eaagency.com. Whatever insurance you're in the market for, home, auto, commercial, contractors, life and health, get in touch with 4A Insurance Agency, 4eaagency.com, or give them a call at 225-383-0682. 4A Agency.
Get Gordon. And get it done. Yeah, everybody know Gordon in a 225. He done leave with Big 4. He got buku ties, Ferrari sliding, flying in a new coupe ride. And every time I ride by, I see a brand new sign. I'm with Gordon, I know that he gon' get it done. Whether it's a big truck crash or a hit and run, recovery funds, he fighting to get a ton. Mike Epps, man, we all about the Benjamin. Handling injuries, man, are you kidding me? Gordon McKernan, that's champion energy. Yeah, family man with a family plan. Get Gordon, he gon' fix it like a handyman. Get Gordon, and get it done.
Welcome to Trifecta.
Trifecta Sports Therapy in Baton Rouge. Recover, repair, restore. At Trifecta, they believe in total body wellness. Trifecta gets the body back to its full potential. Whether you're a youth or pro athlete, a pre or postnatal mom, or if you lead an active lifestyle or a senior citizen, Trifecta has the class, the sports massage, the sports therapist, the stretch therapist, or the equipment like infrared sauna, cold plunges, and golf simulators to find your best. Find Trifecta online at trifectasportstherapy.com or check out the beautiful facility today, 8221 Goodwood. Trifecta Sports Therapy.
Hey, Tiger fans, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit us, Tom and Wright Granning, at Go Mart on the Go Deli.
Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip.
Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on your left.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff,
where everyone is family.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill?
That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. They say that life's a marathon, man, shout out to Nip. They start to think you falling off and they starting to flip. Circumstances start to change and they jump in the ship. Only ones that really matter who's tied to your hip. They tried to push you to the side cause they thought you would quit. May bend but never break, your cloth is legit. When you return in rare form, they all gonna be sick. You ever seen a living legend, just know that I'm it. Slow grind like IT, just know that I'm it. Now I'm back up in my bag, I'm giving them fits. Bounce the bat like John Morant, you know that I'm lit. Making plays like Jack Bash, I'm never gonna sit. Had to be patient, so I waited for the situation. Now that I'm focused, I'ma take it with no hesitation. The hard times that I hated gave me inspiration. Look in the eyes from my kids gave me motivation. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. From 7 to 9, come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. From 7 to 9, it's tingling cold. What up, Lord? What up, Lord? You can call me him. I'm Shay Dixon in the whip with them RPMs. Gotta pull up to the chat, yeah, shit out to them. Not trying to ball like Big 4, then get out the gym. Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. When you see that notification, we about to go live. Hit this track and do your dance like you Karen Lacey. Bring it back to time, Matthew to the house, baby.
Yeah. To the house, dude.
It's tingling cold from 7 to 9. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. From 7 to 9, it's tingling cold.
Let's go. God's fire. Shout out
Banger.
to our guy, Cordell. Absolute legend. Reached out to us, said, guys, y'all want to move back? Legend.
Let's go. It's
engine. Look, I mean, that's the kitchen, bro. That's the kitchen. He was cooking, dog. That's why Fonz, because it was a recording of the recording. But yeah, the references. Yeah, he's always. Love you, Fonz. He's on Bear Jones's butt right now too on the Twitter. Maybe stop swinging at off-speed pitches. Yeah, he does have a really fat. Glimmer kills the references. No, yeah, I mean, he absolutely. There's one thing Cordell's going to do. He's going to name drop. Shea Dixon with the RPMs. If you don't want a ball like Big Four, get out the gym. Tyron Matthew to the house, baby. Fire. That's fire. Appreciate you guys. Is the music still playing?
Yeah, of course.
So they couldn't hear anything I was saying?
No, they couldn't hear you. Okay. Fonz is being a critic.
Yeah, he was balling. Cordell was balling.
Because I'm also wearing headphones.
Yep, and you can hear everything.
It's unbelievable.
But yeah, shout out to Cordell. Shout out to all of you guys. We were just a little bit chit-chatting about Tingle & Co. in the break, and we're excited and very appreciative to everyone in this chat for all that you've done for us. Because
Cordell,
we're excited to go on this ride with you guys as LSU goes to the national championship this season. And Tingle & Co. will be right there, locked in, ready to go. Make sure you're locked in as well as I drop the Linktree link in the chat. Click that. Follow us on everything. It's got all of it on there. So make sure you click that and you go follow all the accounts. Like we said, everything that you're used to seeing, the title at Culotta Show and the logo and all that, everything you're used to seeing from all of that will be on these pages. Like everything. I've run the social media for the last however many years. That content will just be moving over to a new place. So make sure you're ready and prepared as it changes. But Hunter Hall, wait, there was a snacks and cocktails segment with Lily Courtney.
Oh,
there was.
That will live in totality anytime we need it.
Anytime. Bring some some London snacks.
I believe that's called rubbish.
Put it in the rubbish bin.
The last show on this channel, boys need to bring back the Jack would be electric. Katie.
Electric. Ah.
Hey.
Who else? The cursing couple, electric.
I mean, we have a better shot at getting Rivers than Jordy. Stewie, don't worry about Stewie coming back when football season starts. He'll be here at 7:8, 6:50. He's gonna beat Slat in this chat.
Yeah. Be here
He'll be a Monday guest, like no worries. And I can't wait to talk to rekindle Stu Dog. I have no idea what Jack is up to.
No.
But I know
he did just follow the Tingle & Co. page on Instagram yesterday.
Every time I see something just absolutely diabolical on Twitter, I send it to him. He's like, good to know you're alive.
I thought of him last night when Tatum tore his Achilles.
Yeah, in
the game. Broke my heart for him.
We should probably call him.
We should check in with him.
He's probably still awake.
Probably, yeah, nightmares. It was rough to see Tatum go down with that injury because he had 42 points, was on another planet, and then I hate a non-contact injury. It's the worst thing to watch in sports.
I just don't like Jason Tatum, so it didn't move the needle for me.
Gosh, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan either.
Do you think he texted Kobe again? He's like, I got you, brother, Achilles. Like, loser.
I don't know if he did that.
That's a good joke, though.
It is. Andrew Machine, is there beef with Katie? No, the exact opposite. Talked to Katie yesterday. But yeah, no, I mean, it was hard to, I don't, as much as I dislike Jason Tatum, I hate seeing people tear their Achilles.
Did he shoot the free throws?
He didn't get fouled. It was non-contact.
I saw it. I watched the game.
He put that false step backwards, and it said pop. Oh, God, it hurts. It hurts just watching it. But, so, I thought about Jack when I saw that. And then, who was it? Glimmer asked, was Jack the first Christian small fella? I said, no, Jack was large.
Jack, what is wrong with my mic? Here we go.
Working? Got it?
Check.
Hello.
Check. Hello.
Are you good?
Yeah, I think it's working. Not a nickel.
Monster. Yeah, Fawn said, there you go.
Yep. Nope. Wait.
Nope. Wait. There you go.
Yep.
Wait. I love the 5%. Because I tuned in to mic'd up when Christian was producing to be like the eye in the sky, make sure he's doing everything. And Fawn's in the chat, Christian, 10%, 20%. Mikey's 20%. Up, Mike's off. Music's down. Even dude.
Hey,
got a co-producer.
Show doesn't work without, you need a moderator for the producer.
Yes, he is.
He gets on me all the time, and I appreciate that at least somebody's paying attention.
Yes.
If nobody was listening, then we wouldn't know.
We'd have no idea. It could be completely silent. You also put in the document for this morning where all the LSU transfer outs ended up and where they ended up landing. As you saw some news yesterday, your guy, John Emery, found his home.
Look at Frank doing work.
Made it happen.
That's why you come to LSU.
That's real stuff right there.
That's why you come to LSU. Because
it's real stuff.
Even when you don't have a home, he can find you another home. If your home's not in Baton Rouge, you can move to, you can go beep, beep.
San Antonio.
Go be a road runner.
Meep, meep. Meep, meep. Literally. Slide on
I tried to find Heisman odds on him yesterday.
God,
not listed yet. Just wait.
Just wait. The rest of LSU's transfer class that left out, Deshaun Womack, obviously, Ole Miss. Sage Ryan joins him at Ole Miss. Xavier Atkins.
Remember?
To Auburn. Debo was the name.
Player.
Yeah, he's a dog. C.J. Daniels to Miami. Kamorian Pimpton, TCU. Ricky Collins to Syracuse. Kimo, the defensive lineman, to West Virginia. J.V.R. Suggs, Wisconsin. J.K. Johnson, Oklahoma State. Jordan Allen, Houston. Kylan Jackson, TCU. Jair Brown, UCF. Dylan Battle, Utah. And then players that transferred to Group of 5 FCS. Shelton Sampson to University of Louisiana at Lafayette. John Emery, UTSA, like we said. Landon Ibieta Nichols. Jalen Lee, UNLV, reuniting with the coach that recruited him, I believe, to Florida. One Dan Mullen. Bernard Causey, Georgia State. A.J. Swan, Appalachian State.
That seems like more of a fit than LSU.
Yep. Javen Nicholas, Charlotte. Demarion Johnson, Southern. Kicker Nathan Dibert, uncommitted. Dibert, uncommitted. The biggest name on that list, obviously, Shelton Sampson ends up at ULL with Walker Howard. We'll see if how exciting
that connection is going to hit like crack.
It should.
Once this ULL baseball thing's over, I'll start watching the football team.
I have no problem with ULL. Actual teams, no problem with. The fan base, not the biggest fan of.
And I like the people there.
Yeah, I've never had any bad
until this year. I was trying to mend the fence. I was literally reaching across the border, saying, let's shake hands, and he spit at me. And now, an enemy for life.
Spit at you?
Spit in me. I swallowed it up. Can't hurt me.
That's disgusting. I'm going to vomit.
And so
now they tried to kill our friend.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He crossed the line.
They did. But
spit in me.
They thought he could die, but he can't.
I was watching it in London.
Unkillable. Crosses global. Listen to that. I was watching on there when Ethan Fry hit his out, and I heard that beautiful sound. I was like, there it is. Can't beat it. You truly can't.
Fry also said, did not hit that far enough for Bear Jones to tag up, but glad it worked. He's like, I didn't get any of that baseball. And he's like, he looked back, he was like, oh, he's tagging. He was like, time to go to the center field. Just gonna keep running.
No, when I saw the hit, I got mad. I got mad. I was like, that's not gonna do it. And they sent Barrett. I was like, oh my gosh, they're sending Barrett.
Shout out Coach Jordan. Go.
He has been
aggressive
on one the last two. Because I don't think me and you got to chit chat about the A&M weekend when, because you were in London, when he sent the 3 crazy send homes that he had, where Milam gets tagged out by Mile.
But safe.
No, he's out. Milam was the first one that was out, and that's what had everyone on edge for the Brazzi and the Hernandez sins, because Braz will get sent home and he would have been out by a mile, but it's fumbled on the relay. And then the next at bat, Milam hits a single sends Poppy home.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. And no, that's the one that got fumbled on the relay. The Braswell got fumbled at home. It was a great throw.
Pressure.
But the catcher didn't catch it.
Pressure.
And that was my thought, was they must have seen something on film, like been like, okay, A&M doesn't relay very well. We're just going to be aggressive. And they were. They had to force the issue. I texted Mikey. I was like, they're going to give me a heart attack. Because we had been talking about getting production set up for the week. And so then I asked him.
Isn't it funny how those relationships work?
Right.
Where you're like, now we're
friends. I was like, Curiel's in center and Stanfield's in left. I texted Mikey. I was like, why is that? And he was like, well, Stanfield didn't see it very well game 1, just mixing around. I was like, okay. I was like, why do they keep sending people home? And he was like, gotta force the issue. I was like, yeah, I guess, but my heart's skipping beats.
Yeah, and
when I see Luis Hernandez get on a single, they're sending him home from
first to third to home. But Jay Mitch talks about, obviously Jay Mitch very fast and gifted athletically. But like they talk about the Fonz brings it up. I think he brought it up a couple days ago on the show where it's like favorite moment in Alec Box or whatever. And he was like, mine is when you scored against Rice in the Super Regional, and he scored like a game winning from first to home. And he's like, did you even see the third base coach like to stop or like tell you keep going? He's like, cuz if I'm on first and there's 2 outs and I can score a winning run, I don't see anything but home plate. Like there's nothing
That's awesome.
stopping me. And I was like, I miss you so much.
That's awesome. That is well. Stanfield stole.
He needs to steal more bases.
Yeah, well, he stole third yesterday. I think like there was no call or anything. He just saw it. And he was like, "No, I'm taking that."
That's what I love about the aggressiveness. Like that's the part of LSU baseball that I think they got away from for a little bit. Like they were forcing the issue. Like the sending runners home is never left.
Yeah,
but like the way that they are on the base pass, because there's times when you can watch, and if it's at either home, certainly at home, where like. They'll bring in pitcher after pitcher if you're an opposing team. They're not checking you.
Right.
Like they get so in the dome that they're like, I'm just trying to throw a strike. And if you don't look at me 2 times in a row, I'm going the third time.
Yeah.
And that's what like LSU needs to kind of like if you want to force it. But also like you've got enough players and enough speed where if you have Bear Jones stealing bags, Ethan Fry's 6 for 6 and stealing bags, like Go get you some.
Stanfield gets on first base.
He should go.
He should be on third base.
It should be
in the span
Willie
of
Mays Hayes.
Of 3 pitches, he should be on third base.
Yes.
Every time. Like, now I'm not trying to be irresponsible with it.
I am.
Stanfield should be on third base every single time.
They should pick twice
and
pitch out once, and then after that, I'm going.
Book it.
Give him new batting gloves. Give him the Willie Mays Hayes.
There you go.
Give him the 2 black gloves.
Make it happen.
Steal like OJ. Get on the run.
I mean, because they have, if you want to go down the speed, Stanfield, Curiel, Brown, those are probably your 3 fastest. And then you have Fry right there with them.
Pearson can run.
Pearson can move.
Dickinson.
Yep. Milam. Like, steal bags. Take them.
Poppy.
Braswell.
No.
Josh Jordan. Go home. Go home. Bear Jones steals some bags.
Gets the respect, though.
Hey, he sent him home. He was safe. So, Andrew, you need to play the Jay Mitch play now of him.
Oh yeah, I'll watch that.
I was thinking about it when you started talking about it. I was like, I want to see that again. But speaking of Jay Mitch, he's getting some shout outs in the chat. Been crushing it on SEC Network 100%.
He also just texted me. He goes, let's see this is how lowly he thinks of me. Lloyd, in a text, give me LSU's offseason for football. I go, you can just listen to the first hour of the show. And then, what am I, Chat GPT? So give me a prompt.
That's awesome.
In a text.
That's awesome. But yeah, shout out to Jay Mitch. Been crushing it on SEC Network. Andrew Messina, Jay Mitch killed it on SEC Network, got his start at FM Digital Media. Yeah, I guess, I don't know if that's his start, but he's been crushing it. I saw him pop up on the big screen the other day, and I was fired up for it because he absolutely crushed it. I think on Saturday after he interviewed Jake Brown. And I was like, oh, he's done that before on Mic'd Up.
You could see how comfortable Jake Brown was, too.
Yes.
It does make a difference for the, you could see why the SEC Network. Maybe I brought Jay Mitch in, maybe I didn't, I don't know. But you can see like the comfortability factor when it comes to LSU when they feel like they know who they're talking to. Like they were giggling like schoolgirls over there.
Awesome.
It was awesome.
It was so cool to watch. But yeah, so I mean, like we said, LSU is the #1 baseball team in the country, atop every single national poll, all the major ones. And it was the last week of the regular season. It is South Carolina this weekend, the final regular season series for LSU, and they are the number 1 team in the country. Something happened over here, guttural. D1 baseball rankings, the top 5: LSU, Florida State, Texas, North Carolina, Oregon. So LSU and Texas, the 2 SEC teams, still in the top 5. But you have 1, 2, 3, 4 more SEC teams rounding out the top 10. Auburn at 6, Arkansas 8, Vanderbilt 9, Georgia 10. And then in the Baseball America, there are 3 SEC teams in the top 5, with LSU 1, Auburn 2, Georgia 4. So a lot of SEC respect, and LSU is at the top of the food chain right now, as they're the #1 team in the country, and rightfully so after what they crushed this weekend. But they are 3rd in the SEC standings currently. Texas first at 20-7, Arkansas at 18-9, LSU at 17-10. Obviously, LSU has South Carolina this weekend. Arkansas, who do they play this weekend? Is it Texas A&M? I feel like that's what it's the last thing I saw. Let me check. This weekend they play. No, they've already played Texas A&M. They play Tennessee this weekend. Wow. So, yeah, Arkansas has Tennessee on the docket, and Texas they are playing. Let me pull this up real quick. It always pulls up the Rangers. Texas University of Texas baseball schedule. This weekend, their final SEC series, they face Oklahoma. So, LSU at South Carolina, Texas travels to Oklahoma, and Georgia has Tennessee this weekend. Those are the top 3 teams in the SEC and their opponents. So LSU could backdoor their way into the #1 seed, but we'll see what officially happens. Fonz, hashtag Ask Tingle & Co. I'm coming into town this Friday for LSU graduation. What's the chances of shaking hands or getting beers/lunch? I'm going to be out of town this weekend. I have to go to Shreveport for a high school graduation. Head to the North Louisiana, the 318. South Arkansas, some people would say. Lloyd, Fonz wants to shake your hand.
Shake my hand.
I want to shake your hand.
I want to shake your hand.
No luck on finding the J. Mitch play?
Oh, well, this is actually quite, I guess, cool. Uh-huh. It's all mic'd up stuff.
That's awesome.
So the algorithm is algorithm.
Algorithm's working.
I have LSU, Jared Mitchell, Super Regional, and it's still
mic'd
up. So if somebody has it, because this is partly my fault, because this is what's in the search a lot.
Yeah.
Send it in the chat, because I want to watch it again too.
Yeah, if you can find that link for the J. Mitch sprinting around those bases,
running like a.
Let me see if it'll pop up on mine. Maybe it's just because you have the computer over there diagnosed to be locked in on mic'd up. Let's see, videos. LSU Baseball hype video.
That's probably on there.
Let's see.
Chad Jones popped up. I mean, I'll watch that anytime.
Chad Jones followed Tingle & Co. on Instagram the other day.
Did he?
Legend. Fired me up when I saw it. I was like, heck yeah.
Elite walkout song that played the entire thing.
I know you've spoken about it many times.
That's the funniest thing that could ever happen. God-fearing country like Auburn.
Let's see. I have Jared Mitchell, 2008 LSU versus UCI Game 2, Mitchell diving catch in 9th.
Yeah, it's a hell of a catch.
Yeah, it's a heck of a play. Jared Mitchell diving catch.
Yeah.
4-24-13 versus Huntsville.
It's just him running the bases, God damn it. But we'll do a diving catch. Why not? Give the man his love. He deserves it. He deserves his flowers.
Something electric.
He was playing. Oh no, this is 08, 09. He had a torn hamstring the entire time. They put up a fake one on.
Fake hammy?
Mm-hmm. They taped it up.
Yeah, here's the mic'd up. I'm all up in the mic'd up now.
But yeah, it should be your fault too.
It's not my fault. I didn't do anything.
As Hecklin has yet to take the
It was Colvin.
Yep. Dog.
God, I cannot wait for super regional
It's gonna be
games
awesome.
at the box.
It's gonna be awesome.
hit in the air to left field. Backing off, Jared Mitchell reaches up, makes the catch on the warning track. Oh my!
He hated every second of
For
it.
Jared Mitchell, as the
Except for this
LSU
part.
outfield has been superb today.
Well, there's the hammy.
Yep. Stud, dude. Looks great in the uniform.
How about that play to
Shout out
stop
to Jay Mitch.
to take the bat off his shoulder?
Bottom of the ninth, full count, no outs.
2-run game.
They make a play.
Hit in the air to left field. Backing off, Jared
Ugh.
Mitchell reaches up, makes the catch on the warning track. Oh my, what a play from Jared Mitchell as the LSU outfield
Great glove.
has been superb
Great throw.
today.
Great
He's
everything.
ambidextrous. He is. He can throw with
Really?
both hands.
That's awesome. I cannot. You do not want to see me try to throw with my right hand.
You're okay.
No, right arm's bad. Left hand I can throw with pretty well. But, yeah, that's an electric play. John Quaff, play it. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, that'll play every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time. So
Every single time.
every single time, Tingle and Go, the Ting Pins.
The Ting Pins.
But yeah, LSU has South Carolina this weekend. Paul Maneri, speaking of 2009, Paul Maneri and his Gamecocks, Paul and the Cocks, host Jay and his Tigers this weekend in the regular season series finale prior to SEC Conference Tournament, which will begin next week.
They won Game 3 in 2008, 22-7 of the Super Regional.
Yep. It's pretty good, isn't it?
Go Villanova.
You can score 22 runs. I'd like to see 2025 LSU baseball.
God,
they
did it in 2023.
This offense has the potential to do it.
I know. I'm not worried about it. People are worried about it.
I'm
not worried
about
about
it a little bit.
No.
Because I've started to get in the habit of trying to separate what I know the offense can be versus what I have seen more often than not. And what I've seen more often than not is a little bit of the struggle bus. But I know the
They're
potential
averaging
of
10
the
runs
offense.
a game for 3 months.
Yeah, before they got into SEC play.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah.
I know. When the teams get better, the runs go down. Right. Like, that's how it works. But, I mean, teams are going to be good when you move forward in the postseason.
Eric Dickerson.
1980. Power. Bring it back.
I think they'll be fine.
I agree. Because, like, to me, this offense, I mean, what I know the offense can be is Saturday. Like, they can leave the yard
because when it
whenever.
looks good, it looks great. Everybody expects that, like, to just do that. It's like,
Right.
well, baseball's hard, and it's not always going to work out that way. But LSU's shown the propensity to win multiple ways,
right,
and be able to win nearly 20 games in conference. And there's still so many question marks around how can you make it perfect.
Almost there.
I'm glad
close.
I don't criticize Jay often, and I rarely do, and I really will, and I'm barely going to do it now. But I'm glad we got that lineup little situation out the way.
Yeah. Curiel should have never stepped foot in any spot.
But he was hitting. I mean, he was so hot.
Right.
And you're like trying to. I get why he did it.
100%.
You're trying to find a way because you couldn't score.
Couldn't score runs.
But this way's fine.
Yeah, it works.
And don't be shocked if he does something different in a regional, super regional, or Omaha. He had Cade Beloso lead off for the first time ever in Game 3 of the College World Series.
And
they scored 17 runs.
Worked out pretty well.
So trust him implicitly. If I had a firstborn, I'd give it to them instead of me take care of it.
What's your Game 3 thought process?
Don't play one. 1-2.
Yeah, I like that. That works for me. Because right now, because you can win two you've got the two best.
Casey Evans pitched twice this week, correct? Did he throw 2 times or just one?
No, he started Sunday.
He just threw. Was it Cowan that threw twice? Somebody threw twice.
Rizzy threw twice.
I don't care about that. That's fine.
Cowan didn't throw twice.
Okay.
Nobody threw twice besides Rizzy.
I thought Casey Evans came in, but I guess I was also on the tube.
No, game 1 they went.
Would
Anderson.
like to see would like an update on him. Also,
yes, would love. Do you think they pitch him on Thursday? Anderson.
Who? No.
Anderson. They don't pitch him on Thursday.
And also, that's like some of the conjecture around when they pulled Ianson in the 6th. Like he had 96 pitches,
93,
93 pitches. He's like short week. I don't know who you can't throw Evans.
Nope.
You can't throw Cowan.
You know who I think it is? I think it's Jaden Newt on Thursday.
Oh, Devin Sheeran.
That would be pretty awesome.
But it does set these are the things that I guess as our job we should alert people to, short week, going on the road. And I know everybody's like, South Carolina's trash, South Carolina's ass, Paul Baderi's washed up.
Yes, Missouri
this series
was trash too, and they
exactly
swept A&M.
And now you're going when your bullpen is taxed. You have questions around your ace, and you had Ianson that just went 93 pitches, and you don't know who's going to start on a Thursday. If LSU loses 2 out of 3, the world's not over. You need to take one game.
Yeah, you just have to win one.
And that's why you could possibly see Kate Anderson move back.
Yeah, no, I'm in on Jaden Newt.
I don't like thinking about it.
No, me neither. Do you think they go the weekend without Anderson pitching at all? Do you think that's possible?
How if they lose 2?
Yeah.
Then they'll throw it on Saturday.
But if say they go Newt on Thursday,
and
he starts and they win,
then he doesn't pitch.
Then he doesn't pitch
Friday.
Who would pitch Friday? You think Ianson, or does Ianson wait?
No, you go Ianson
for a short on a pitch count.
Yeah, give me 4.
Yeah. I'm with it.
Yeah, this is a tough. Now that I don't like thinking about it, but now that
let's not burn it all right now. Let's wait until let's have something for content.
Yeah, we're already done with the show.
Thursday. We'll break it down this week on Thursday. So,
just 1-1.
Yeah, baseball. That's the thing about baseball is it's always Seville. That's the thing that drives me crazy.
I would like to see Schmidt start.
Yeah, it hasn't been.
No, it's so goddamn frustrating.
It is.
He's so good.
He is. It really drives me up a wall.
I didn't want to have.
You have Connor Ware, who started games for you. Yes. You have guys that have started games. Newt, Ware, Schmidt have all started games.
Jake Brown.
Hey, if you need
85 with personality.
85 with personality, you can make it happen.
I wouldn't mind Schmidt. He's got he's been.
That's what Carl Dunn says. Shores game 1 Thursday.
I wouldn't hate. How many pitches did he throw?
He might have pitched twice this weekend as well.
That's who pitched twice.
Shores pitched twice.
That's what I thought. I knew I was.
Because they went Shores before Cowan on Friday, and then Shores came in. He pitched a good bit on Sunday. I feel like.
Yeah, that's what I would be surprised if he goes Thursday.
Yeah, I would be too. I think Newt's my pick for Thursday. I think Newt has looked good when he started, and I think he's even looked good when he's come in relief. And
he's been good.
He's obviously somebody Jay trusts.
Yeah, he calls him the fireman. Puts him out.
Yeah, and I think if you want 4 innings,
he's kind of got some fuck you to him.
Yeah,
which I like.
I think a lot of the pitchers that LSU has on this staff have. Evans is from game 1. I remember when he pitched in the opening weekend, I was like, "Oh, this guy is."
I want to see Evans. Just speaking, just enter
Let's hear it.
Full fan hat.
Throw it at
Evans back in the pen.
Really?
Just suits him better.
No, 100%. He's your
Grim
closer.
Reaper.
When he comes in the game, y'all are dead.
Where it just I
love it.
That's so demoralizing to be like, oh.
Right. The perfect story is Anderson, Ianson, Shores. That's the.
And then
that's what it should have.
Cowan, Schmidt, Evans.
Right, like that.
Schmidt, William, come on, brother. If now is the time, let's take the foot off the brake and put it on the gas. Just go out there and throw it as hard as you can.
Make it happen.
Can't be worse than what's happening
because
now.
that's the way it should have and then spot lefties. Williams, Primo, Ware. matchups. I mean, it worked against A&M.
like
Laviolette struck out every time.
That's true.
Until he got that stupid little dinker off of Ware that got him on base.
I like what Myers done.
Myers has looked good. Newt's looked good. Rizzy's looked good.
Coop looked good. Not Coop. Cooper Williams. There's only one Coop. Bring him back. God, if they had Griffin Herring.
Man.
This team would be...
Have you seen what he's been doing in the minors?
He's lights out.
He's unbelievable. I think his ERA is like 0.6.
They can't sniff him.
And did you see the immaculate innings last week? 2 of them.
Gage jump and...
I almost said Thatcher Hurd. Javen Coleman.
What's Thatcher up to?
I don't know. I miss him.
That's what William Smith's starting to remind me of, and it's making me crazy.
Go get him, Thatch.
Hey, he did it.
Yep. Shane LeBlanc, if he started Skeens versus Tulane, he will start Anderson first game. I'm talking about this weekend.
Yeah. I'm not. No. When it gets to regional play.
Yeah, when it gets to regional play, you're throwing your guys in their normal routine. Andrew Messina, just win games 1 and 2 and then mess around pitching in game 3. I would agree with that if it wasn't.
It's just an odd spot in the schedule.
It kind of throws off, and with the whole wrist thing with Cade, makes it even worse. More things to think about. Matthew Conklin, Jacob Myers.
Start him.
Electricity.
That would be electricity.
Electricity. Shane LeBlanc. Jay will start Anderson first, bank it. He will not change what he has done all year with Cade and Ianson. You don't think he'll change it on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Oh, Thatch having Tommy John.
When Cade had his wrist messed up on Friday.
What was the full? What was the report?
What?
A wrist cramp.
Yeah, and I agree, Shane, that I think that Jay is very much uniform in. I want to stick with what I've done all year. I'm not gonna push back my guy, but I feel like this has more health kind of things in it more than like this isn't a matchup play. Like the reason there was discussion around Skeens and Tulane was because you were trying to move it around from a matchup standpoint. I don't think this is a matchup conversation. It's a health conversation of do we push Cade Anderson when he had the wrist cramp and it's going to be a short week and what have you. Because I do agree that Jay's a creature of habit and he's going to stick with what he's comfortable with. Fonz found it, Lloyd.
Oh, you put it in the chat? I'm reading
Drop
about...
in the chat, Fonz. What, Cade Anderson's injury?
Well, just wrist cramps in general.
Okay, what you got for us?
Triangular fibrocartilage complex. That sounds bad.
Yep.
Ulnar wrist pain. Ulnar nerve compression. Repetitive motion overuse.
That sounds like pitching, right?
Yeah, I think he'll be fine, but it is a weird injury.
Yeah, I agree. Because I'm with you, Shane. Like, I think that he's a creature of habit 100%. I just, when there's health involved, it might get a little different. Like, it might just put a different thought process behind the game plan for this weekend. So, we'll see, though. And we're going to save that conversation for Thursday. We don't want to get too into it right now. Can you do the connections?
Athletic connections?
Knock that bad boy out. Knock it out. Did you see Pat McAfee on WWE the other night? He actually did a pretty good job.
Did he win?
No. Lost.
I saw his shirt was off.
It was. I saw him fumble trying to jump over the top rope.
Did he?
Yeah, he tried to do one of the things where you like propel yourself over it, and he caught his the tip of his foot on his toe on the rope.
He's an athlete.
Oh, 100%. And he's so willing to do literally anything to his body.
That's why God didn't make me that athletic.
Yeah,
I will try.
No, I'm in the same boat. I was watching, I don't remember what it was, like stunt doubles for movies. I was like, oh, I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it depends on the stunt. I'm not Tom Cruise. I'm not trying to die. But you can, like, I would, if we did like a pros versus Joes, I'd let somebody like tap me.
Absolutely.
I'd let Jacoby and Giller hit me as hard as he wants.
Yeah.
Sierra Mitchell, come on. I'll go head up. Kill me.
That's so true. That's sad.
Like, dude, I'd love to.
Yeah, I wouldn't think twice about it.
Put me in the pads and the helmet, and whoever can, like Harold Perkins can go full speed and take my head off.
Oh.
You're out on that?
Chad?
Huh? Yeah, come on. I just want to see what it feels like.
It feels bad.
I know, but just get laid out by
You didn't play football, so you don't know.
I mean, I played football, but I didn't get hit by Harold Perkins.
I played against Nick Jacobs. Shout out LSU.
Stud.
Legend.
I took a charge on Brian Thomas. That hurt pretty bad.
See, that's not...
And,
when somebody puts the crown of their helmet
well,
in your
I know.
jaw,
That's what I want to feel.
And you're like, oh, you see God.
That's what, yeah, I know. Would love to.
And you're like, oh, wait, I'm alive. And then you get a headache, and you're like, oh, I'm going to throw up. Oh, they're snapping the football. Just out here.
Back.
You wake up with spit and piss all over your visor. You're like, oh, God, why am I out here?
Sounds awesome.
I need to go back. I should have done...
I should have hit Christian harder when we were right here.
I know. I think about it all the time. Like, the next time you're going to kill him.
The video popped up. I was like, God, I should have took his head out.
Maybe think you're soft.
Yeah.
But it also maybe...
I was trying to be nice.
Yeah, because I forgot you're nice, too.
Oh, that's all right. What we got here?
Bottom.
Okay.
Seller.
Jeer, boo, hiss, taunt.
Worst.
Uh-huh.
Last.
Yep.
Power.
Taunt, jeer, boo,
hiss. We're rolling.
Let's see. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Interesting.
Now it gets fun. The Golden Knights.
Uh-huh.
And so it's going to be like new you think they're expansion franchises?
Minnesota and Orlando.
I don't know if that's right.
I don't know either. Miami, Utah, Cal, Tulsa.
What is that?
I don't know. That was just the other four.
Yeah.
I was trying to see how they match.
Oh, do you think it's Ohio? Miami? No. Where's Tulsa? Oklahoma?
Yeah. Like, that's why I feel like Tulsa and OKC go together. See, Brian Burgess has it for us. You ready? Yeah. Utah, Orlando, OKC, Miami.
Basketball?
Yes. I guess. Yep. And then Minnesota, Cal, Tulsa. Golden Knights. The Golden
Gophers.
Okay.
That's okay.
There we go. Knocked it out.
Should we do our interviews live? Like Kill Tony?
That would be funny. Meet the new guys.
Yeah.
Have some new characters coming in.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yep. Vote on the different characters.
God, that would be elite.
I saw what you did, Brandon. Don't retract your message. I love you, but you tried to get us, and you were wrong too, and it's okay. We were wrong together. We overthought it together, Brandon. I love you.
Oh, Wordle. Hunter Hall stumped.
Should we try to see if we get stumped?
Yeah. It's one of those shows today.
It is. I mean, it's 9:07 already. I mean, we didn't even go to our second hour break. I tried to have interviews today. We didn't even need them.
Blew right through them.
I'm not laughing at that.
Cover feeds.
I'm
not gonna give you the satisfaction.
I have to tell that to my father all the time because he tells stupid jokes, obviously, because he's a dad. And we were sitting at graduation last night. He kept making stupid jokes.
I love that.
Like there was a girl. So at the graduation,
we should swap families. For a week.
Dude, it would be awesome. they were showing like baby pictures of the graduates, like on the screen before the graduation. And my aunt was like guessing who it was.
That's a fun game.
And one of the girls' last names was Guess. And so my aunt's like, "Oh, I think that's Katie," and they were right. And my dad goes, "Good guess." And I was like, I'm not laughing at that because it's stupid.
That's funny.
And then
I hate when this happens. Oh, I know what I have to do. Scroll down. All right, what's our first guess?
Good one. Guess. Guess. Might as well.
This is it.
Imagine. That would be awesome.
We have an E.
E-R-E-R-E-T.
What'd you say? E-R-E, erect. We were both making jokes.
We were. Almost. R-E. Okay, I'm in on it. Okay. W first.
Mm-hmm.
W-O-R.
You need an E.
Yep. Trying to think. W-I-R-E-Y. Wiry? No, the E doesn't go right there. The E is in the last spot. The E is at the end. And the R is in either the R can't go there. That was wrong.
Oh, I see now. I understand it now.
And so the Oh. No, there's no T. Not water. Good try though. Where is a good, but there's only one E.
Because we put it everywhere. Except at the end. So the E's at the either... It's last.
The E is last. There's only one of them. The R is in the second to last or the third to last spot. I would say it's going to be in the second to last. So we need either an I or an... I feel like there's going to be one more vowel, right?
I'm going to do weave, but that's not right. Good job, Hunter Hall. This is tough. Wrong. Oh, Long Johnson.
Let's see what the chat's saying. Kimberly wants to do where, but it's not going to be where. T-E? No, there's no T.
No, I don't know what words are anymore.
Almost like want a piece of paper so I can like.
There's no T.
There's no T because that would be good. That would be a good guess as well. Maybe the W's in the second.
I don't think the W starts it.
Okay. So second, the W would be second, which means we would need a word that has, or maybe it's not second. The W can go anywhere but last.
Right.
The E is last. I'm about to stand up.
Stand up.
Because the E goes here. The R goes in one of these two spots.
Yeah.
And the W goes in the other ones.
Twerk?
No, because the E has to go here.
Oh, where? Oh, you're right. Fuck. Twink? Ah, the W second. Twink worked.
Okay. So the W is second. So we've got W, E, blank, blank, blank. The R goes in one of these two spots.
Yeah. And it's not...
So what's a letter that can go before a W that's still in here? DW? AW? A?
Award?
W. Aware? Try it.
Aware.
Yeah, try aware. Let's go.
Let's go.
God, good job.
Tweak.
There we go.
Tweak.
I guess that's kind of what helped us out in the end. Lloyd's stupid word.
That's a big win.
The chat had it? Yeah. Fonz and Conkle had it. I know. We should have looked in the chat. Sorry. We locked in a little bit. We locked in. Andrew Messina, geography and words are not the J.C. Stroh strong point. Well, maybe it'll be Tingle & Co. strong point, guys.
What do you mean words aren't?
We just crushed that. We appreciate you guys. We actually do have some meetings. We have some people coming into the studio to meet with us. So we appreciate you guys. Make sure, like we said, follow, subscribe. Everything that says Tingle & Co., Tingle & Co., or Tingle _ Co. Follow and subscribe.
They're trying to ball like big folk. They get out the gym. Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. It's Tingle & Co. From 7 to 9. Keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it. Let's go. From 7 to 9. It's Tingle & Co. What up, Lord? What up, Lord? You can call me him. I'm Shay Dixon in the whip with them RPMs. Gotta pull up to the chat and shit out to them. They're trying to ball like big folk. They get out the gym. Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. When you see that notification, we about to go live. Hit this track and do your dance like you Karen Lace. Bring it back to time, Matthew to the house, baby. It's Tingle & Co. From 7 to 9. Keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. From 7 to 9. It's Tingle & Co. Word up. Let's go. It's Tingle & Co. From 7 to 9. Keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. From 7 to 9. It's Tingle & Co.